We've pretty much agreed on an enforcement mechanism. We've agreed that both sides will establish enforcement offices that will deal with the ongoing matters, Mnuchin said, adding that there were still important issues for the countries to address. As soon as we're ready and we have this done, he's ready and willing to meet with President Xi Jinping, and it's important for the two leaders to meet, and we're hopeful we can do this quickly, but we're not going to set an arbitrary deadline, Mnuchin added. The United States is demanding that China implement significant reforms to curb the theft of U.S. intellectual property and end forced transfers of technology from American companies to Chinese firms. Washington also wants Beijing to curb industrial subsidies, open its markets more widely to U.S. firms, and vastly increase purchases of American agricultural, energy and manufactured goods. Mnuchin did not address whether the enforcement structure would allow the United States a unilateral right to reimpose tariffs without retaliation if China fails to follow through on its commitments. People familiar with the discussions have said that U.S. negotiators are seeking that right, but that China is reluctant to agree to such a concession. Alternatively, the United States may seek to keep tariffs in place, only removing them when China meets certain benchmarks in implementing its reforms. Mnuchin said he and U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, who is leading the negotiations, are focused on execution of drafting the documents in the trade agreement. The two sides are working on broad agreements covering 6 areas: forced technology transfer and cyber theft, intellectual property rights, services, currency, agriculture, and non-tariff barriers to trade, according to 2 sources familiar with the progress of the talks.